retiring in 10 years or less. Consider these points as you approach retirement. If you're a decade or so away from retirement, you probably spent at least some time thinking about this major life change. How will you manage this transition? Will you travel, take up new sports or hobby, or spend more time with friends and family? Should you consider relocating? Will you continue to work in the same capacity? Will changes in your income sources affect your standard of living? When you begin to ponder all these issues surrounding this transition, the process can seem downright daunting. However, thinking about a few key points now, while you still have years ahead, can help you focus your effort and minimize the anxiety that often accompanies this shift. Reassess your living expenses. A step you'll probably take several times between now and retirement, and maybe several more times thereafter, is thinking about how your living expenses could or should change. For example, while commuting and other work-related costs may decrease, other budget items may rise. Healthcare costs in particular may increase as you progress through retirement. Try to estimate what your monthly expense budget will look like in the first few years after you stop working, and then continue to reassess the budget as your vision of retirement becomes a reality. According to a recent survey, 38% of retirees said they were very confident that they would be able to meet their basic expenses in retirement, while only 28% showed similar level of confidence in meeting healthcare costs. Keeping a close eye on your spending in the years leading up to your retirement can help you more accurately anticipate your budget during retirement. Consider all your income sources. First, figure out how much you stand to receive from Social Security. The amount you receive will depend on your earning history and other unique factors. You can elect to receive retirement benefits as early as age 62. However, keep in mind that doing so will result in a reduced benefit for life. If you wait until your full retirement age, which is 66 or 67, depending on your birth date, or later up to age 70, your benefits will be higher. The longer you wait, the larger it will be. You can get an estimate of your retirement benefits at the Social Security Administration website, which is ssa.gov. You can also sign for a My Social Security account to review your online Social Security statement, which contains a detailed record of your earning and estimates for retirement, survivor, and disability benefits. Your retirement benefit estimates include amount at age 62, full retirement age, and age 70. Check your statement carefully and address any errors as soon as possible. Next, review the accounts you've earmarked for retirement income, including any employer benefits. Start with your employer-sponsored plan and then consider any IRAs and traditional investment accounts you probably may own. Try to estimate how much they could provide on a monthly basis. If you're married, be sure to include your spouse's retirement account as well. If your employer provides traditional pension plan, contact the plan administrator for an estimate of the monthly benefit amount. Do you have rental income? Be sure to include that in your calculation. Might you continue to work? Some retirees find that they're able to consult, turn a hobby into an income source, or work part-time. Such income can provide a valuable cushion that help retirees postpone tapping into their investment account, giving assets more time to potentially grow. Pay off debt. Power up your savings. Once you have an idea of what your possible expenses and income look like, it's time to bring your attention back to here and now. Draw up a plan to pay off debt and power up your retirement savings before you retire. Why pay off debt? Entering retirement debt-free, including paying off your mortgage, will put you in a position to modify your monthly expenses in retirement if the need arises. On the other hand, entering retirement with mortgage, loan, and a credit card balance will put you at the mercy of those monthly payments. You'll have less of an opportunity to scale back your spending if necessary. Why power up your savings? In these final few years before retirement, you're likely to be earning the highest salary of your career. Why not save and invest as much as you can in your employer-sponsored retirement saving plan and or your IRAs? Aim for maximum allowable contribution, and remember, if you're 50 or older, you can take advantage of the catch-up contribution, which enables you to contribute an additional $6,500 to your 401k plan and an additional $1,000 to your IRA in 2021. Manage taxes. As you think about when to tap your various resources for retirement income, remember to consider the tax impact of your strategy. For example, you may want to withdraw money from your taxable accounts first to allow your employer-sponsored plan and IRAs more time to potentially benefit from tax-deferred growth. Keep in mind that generally you're required to begin taking minimum distribution from tax-deferred accounts once you reach age 72, whether or not you actually need the money. By the way, Roth IRAs are an exception to this rule. If you decide to work in retirement while receiving Social Security, understand that income you earn may result in taxable benefits. By the way, IRS Publication 915 offers a worksheet to help you determine whether a portion of your Social Security benefit is taxable. If leaving a financial legacy is a goal, you'll also want to consider how estate taxes and income taxes for your heirs figure out in your overall decisions. Managing retirement income to result in the best possible tax scenario can be extremely complicated. To help you, we do have a taxes and retirement webinar that talks about that more in detail. The link to the webinar is in the description. Account for healthcare. The Employee Benefit Research Institute reported that average 65-year-old married couple retiring in 2020 with average prescription drug expenses would need about $270,000 in savings to have a 90% chance of meeting their insurance premiums and out-of-pocket healthcare costs during retirement. This figure illustrates why healthcare should get special attention as you plan the transition towards retirement. As you age, the portion of your budget consumed by health-related costs, including both medical and dental, will likely increase. Although original Medicare Parts A and B will cover portions of your costs, you still have deductibles, co-payments, and co-insurance. Unless you're prepared to pay for these costs out of pocket, you may want to purchase a supplemental Medigap insurance policy. Medigap policies are sold by private health insurers and are standardized and regulated by both state and federal law. These plans offer different levels of coverage and may pay many of your out-of-pocket costs. Another option, of course, is Medicare Advantage, also known as Medicare Part C, which is a bundled plan that includes Part A and B and usually Part D prescription coverage and may offer additional benefits original Medicare doesn't cover. If you enroll in Medicare Advantage, you cannot also purchase a Medigap policy. For more information, visit medicare.gov. Also, think about what would happen if you or your spouse needed home care, nursing home care, or other forms of long-term assistance, which Medicare and Medigap does not cover. Long-term care costs vary substantially depending on where you live and can be extremely expensive. For this reason, people often consider buying long-term care insurance. Policy premiums may be tax deductible based on the number of different factors. So if you have a family history of debilitating illness such as Alzheimer, have substantial assets you'd like to protect, or want to leave assets to your heirs, perhaps a long-term care policy may be worth considering. Ease the transition. These are just some of the factors to consider as you prepare transition into retirement. Breaking the bigger picture into smaller categories and using the years ahead to plan accordingly may help make this process a little easier. If you want to learn more about retirement planning, we have a webinar that covers strategies against market volatility. In this webinar, we'll go over solutions that could potentially minimize your losses, minimize your taxes, minimize your fees, and maximize your income. The link is in the description. Learn tips that can help you towards accomplishing your retirement goals.